Good evening, everyone. I'm going to be calling to order today's August 23rd, 2022 City Council meeting. Today is, the time is 7:30 p.m. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please call the roll?
McHale.
Here.
Budmats.
Present.
O'Brien.
Here.
Veneziano.
Here.
Bassesi.
Here.
Reyes.
Here.
Sunoika.
Here. With 7 present and 0 absent, there is a quorum. We are missing the mayor today, so I will be Mayor Pro Tem tonight. The members of the audience reminded that these proceedings are being videotaped for current and future broadcast over the city's cable television channel. And the first order of business is to approve our minutes from August 9th, 2022 City Council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes? So moved. Thank you, Alderman McHale, for the first, and thank you, Alderman Veneziano, for the second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. At this time, I'll be looking for a motion to deviate for the Fire Department promotion swearing-in ceremony. We will be swearing in Fire Chief Pete Sutter, Battalion Chief Ryan Harding, and Lieutenant Mike Mullaney tonight. May I please have a motion to open the floor to deviate?
So moved.
Thank you, Alderman O'Brien, for the first. Second? Thank you for the second, Alderman McHale. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, and we will now deviate from the agenda. We'll have first coming forward is Fire Chief Pete Sutter to the front. We'll check to make sure that this is on. Testing. Testing. I'm actually going to give this to you. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Pete Sutter,
I, Pete Sutter,
do solemnly swear and affirm that I will support
do solemnly swear that I affirm and support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the rules and regulations of the city and the fire department,
the rules and regulations of the city and the fire department,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the fire chief to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of fire chief to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Did you want more pictures with your family? No. Okay. We will do pictures after. Next is Ryan Harding. You're going to raise your right hand and repeat after me, okay? I, Ryan Harding,
I, Ryan Harding,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United
the
States,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the rules and regulations of the city and the fire department,
the rules and regulations of the city and the fire department,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of battalion chief to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully discharge
The duties
the duties
of battalion chief
of battalion chief
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Mike Mullaney is next for our swearing in. Same thing, we're going to raise
Sure.
your hand, repeat after me. I, Mike Mullaney,
I, Mike Mullaney,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
to support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the rules and regulations of the city and the fire department,
the rules and regulations of the city and the fire department,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of lieutenant to the best of my ability.
the duties of lieutenant to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, everyone. Please feel we have such a crowd here today. Please come up and take lots of pictures, and we will open up or we'll close the floor once you've finished. There we go.
Really?
Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to be looking for a motion to close the floor at this time.
Yeah, I could do it.
So moved, Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you, Alderman McHale. Can I have a second? Thank you, Alderman Budmats, for the second. So all those in favor of closing the floor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, the ayes have it, and we will now close the floor and move into the next agenda item. A lot of commotion, a lot of celebration today. All right, so at this time, there is no mayor's report. I do have a ward report for Ward 7 regarding the complaints of drag racing in the Creekside neighborhood and along West Frontage. We have increased our police patrols in that area, so thank you very much to Chief Nowacki for responding on that item, and we'll continue to look into additional items regarding that particular area. Were there any other ward reports tonight? No other ward reports? Then at this time, the meeting is open to the public for 20 minutes. We do have one signature on the sign-in sheet. Before we begin, I want to state for the record that in order to secure the rights of the citizens of the city to a fair and just representation before their elected officials, and to guarantee to the elected officials an order and dignified form in which to conduct the city's business, no person shall be allowed to engage in any activity that will disturb or disrupt the orderly proceedings of the city council. Per the rules of the procedures of the public, per rules of procedures, the public is to address the city council, and the fact that no member of the city council responds does not mean that the city council or any member thereof agrees or disagrees with the comment. In order to attain this objective, the following rules of conduct are hereby established. Any person who seeks to address the city council at this time for public comments shall be permitted to speak only upon recognition of the presiding officer, and such person shall adhere to the following provisions. Each person addressing the city shall state their name for the record. Each person shall be granted no more than 5 minutes of the allotted 20 minutes in order to address the city council. Questions and/or commentary shall be limited to city business, and comments supporting or opposing a nominated person's candidacy for elective office of the city shall be out of order. Commentary shall be directed to the presiding officer unless the presiding officer permits the individual to address the council members or other city officers present. Discussion shall take place in a professional manner which displays mutual respect, and profanity shall not be used in any form or manner. At this time, would Mr. Mohammed Abdul Ghaffar please come to the podium?
Good evening, council members, respected council members. I am Mohammed Abdul Ghaffar, one of the board members of the Islamic Society of Northwest Suburbs located here at Rolling Meadows. I just want to take a few minutes to highlight some context towards the topic of ISNS permit waiver discussions, if you allow me. ISNS, as many of you may know, is a long-time organization in the city of Rolling Meadows, almost 40 years in existence, and is actually the third oldest non-profit Islamic organization in the entire Chicagoland area. I just want to touch upon a brief background of the project, some financial hardships that we are facing ISNS as a non-profit organization, and the benefits of the project to the city. Exactly 4 years ago this week, August 28th, 2018, the City Council approved the special use zoning for the use of the 1200 Hicks project. Over the past 4 years, the ISNS team has worked collaboratively, closely with the city staff, their consultants, the government agencies such as IDOT, Illinois Department of Transportation, because the property lies on the main state highway, and MWRD, Metro Water Reclamation District, to develop engineering plans to build out this old industrial building which has been sitting idle. I am glad to report that the city and staff has been very collaborative, and they have approved the engineering plans as of June 2022. After a lot of back and forth, productive and very collaborative discussions. One such collaborative effort I want to highlight here is ISN is giving a new easement to the city for a sidewalk in front of the Hicks Road, which doesn't exist right now, for the city to fulfill the vision of a very beautiful pedestrian-friendly neighborhood as part of the comprehensive city plan. ISN has happily absorbed the cost, both time and money, that design iteration took a while to achieve in light of the broader impact to the community and the city. Now let me just hit upon few financial hardships that we are going through as a nonprofit organization. COVID obviously has impacted a lot of us. We weren't an exception. We lost quite a bit of our donor base. In fact, we lost about 50% of our paid membership over the past 2 years compared to the previous pre-COVID situation. And since the purchase of this building, we have almost sunk in $1.5 million into this 1200 Hicks project with no visible progress to show to the community, which is really important to get sustained funding for this one. And as we all know, the inflation has hit upon us quite a bit, and the cost of the project has actually increased more than 30% compared to just the budget estimates we had last year, which was kind of what we actually originally highlighted if you go back and look at the records that we planned to build, let alone the budget estimates we had 4 years ago. I don't even want to look at that number. Now, fourth, the supply chain constraints has been huge, and many of the items like steel or HVAC and a lot of other items, they need like anywhere from 10 to 40 weeks, believe it or not, 40 weeks delay or lead time, as they call it, and we need to pay advance deposits. And we have only like half of the budget estimate in the bank, and the remaining half is expected to come once the donors actually see the visible progress on the construction. We are not there yet, so we have really a tight situation for us. Now, let me just summarize quickly what are the benefits of the project. This project, upon completion, will renovate an old idle building into an iconic landmark in the city of Rolling Meadows, in fact, for the entire northwest suburbs. This will remove a major eyesore and also help increase the ISNS membership. And second, the ISNS serves around a dozen communities around Rolling Meadows. There is no other Islamic community organization in this area, unlike if you go south or west. So we have like dozen communities we are serving. What we expect is, we expect most of the community members in this area are usually, they come closer, relocate closer to once you have an established center, much nicer center, which we expect to happen. And that would, in turn, increase the business and the property value for the entire neighborhood. As our manager always says, rising tide lifts all the boats. So we expect that to happen. We have seen that happen time and again with other communities. Thank you all for all the great work you do to make Rolling Meadows a vibrant and diverse city, and thank you for the opportunity to record our comments.
Thank you. With no other signatories on the sign-in sheet today, we will then continue with the remainder of the City Council meeting. First on our list is a pending ordinance for ordinance number 22-31, amended Division 2 entitled Board of Fire and Police Commissioners, subparagraph A of Section 2-686 entitled Appointment, Qualifications, and Terms, Chairman, Quorum, Oath and Bond, removal of the quote of the city code to increase the number of board members from 3 to 5 members, unquote. This is up for second reading. Is there a motion to adopt this ordinance?
So moved.
Thank you, Alderman O'Brien, for the first. Thank you, Alderman Budmats, for the second. Is there any discussion regarding this ordinance? Seeing none, the question is, shall the ordinance be adopted? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Bessesi.
Yes.
Reyes.
Yes.
Sonoyka.
Yes.
McHale.
Yes.
Budmats.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Veneziano.
Yes.
With 7 in favor and 0 opposed, this ordinance is adopted. Next is our consent ordinances in for first reading. It consists of 3 items, items B through D. Does any alderman wish to remove any other item from the consent agenda for ordinances? Yes, Alderman O'Brien.
Item D, please.
Item D. Okay. At this time, then,
Never mind.
okay. At this time, then, the chair declares it in order for one motion to consider 2 ordinances and one motion without debate. Is there such a motion?
So moved, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Alderman Budmats, for the first and Alderman McHale for the second. The consent ordinances consist of ordinance number 22-00, amend the city code in order to establish the office of Assistant City Manager for the city of Rolling Meadows in for first reading. Item C, ordinance number 22-00, amend the city code in order to eliminate the electrical commission of the city of Rolling Meadows, also in for first reading. The question is, shall the ordinance be moved forward for second reading? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Reyes.
Yes.
Sonoyka.
Yes.
McHale.
Yes.
Budmats.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Veneziano.
Yes.
Bessesi.
Yes.
With 7 in favor and 0 opposed, the ordinances will be moved forward to second reading. Now, returning to ordinance, item D, ordinance number 22-00, grant approval of a special use and other zoning relief necessary to allow a 2,400 square foot pet daycare at 2639 Kirchhoff Road in for first reading. Can I have a motion to move this forward?
So moved, Mayor Pro Tem.
Alderman O'Brien for the first, and then second, Alderman McHale. Alderman O'Brien, you had pulled this, so please feel free to begin the discussion.
Great, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I just received, as I'm sure some of us did, I received 4 inquiries, 3 from residents, 1 from a non-resident, that just wanted to clarify, based on some experiences, factual, not factual, that they've had or family members have had in the past. Can we just clarify, I don't know if it's Manager Sabo or Director Charleston, about if there is an inquiry for any business within the city of Rolling Meadows? It's certainly not this specific, but just for that we make sure we've got it captured for the residents that may be listening on there, what the current protocol or SOP is, if it's a food establishment or if it's a hardware store, just what the process is should any concerns or questions come in.
For a complaint? I presume
Correct,
you
or an
mean?
inquiry or a complaint, right.
So the process for registering any complaint or question of whether a restaurant or any business complies with our city codes is to call the Department of Community Development. You can do that by a phone call. You can stop in. There's some forms online that you can fill out as well. State the nature of the complaint. It will be investigated by one of our inspectors in community development. And if there is a code violation, then it will be set for a court date or typically there's some conversation that occurs in between. We do try to gain compliance, so if it's minor in nature, we would simply talk to the business owner to let them know what actions would be required to comply. And if they complied, the case would be dropped. If they don't, then it gets progressive. There's some progression in the enforcement.
Great, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. And in that case, I am in favor of this one, knowing that that's the process established. In our packets that were publicly available on the website, it did indicate that one that was in this years that it was operating on tonight. There was one inquiry. It was resolved very quickly as well. So I appreciate that from the business owner that it was addressed quickly. And there was just the one inquiry. So at this time, like I said, I had 4 folks reach out, and then we did as council, we did get additional 13 emails, I think it was, from that staff received, all in favor of this. And just as part of my due diligence, as I've said on other topics, is just confirming if they were from Third Ward residents in general, folks outside of that. But at the first reading, I am in support of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman O'Brien. Is there any other discussion? It looks like Alderman Budmats. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. So I did receive a call from a resident who was concerned that it's a relatively small space for a doggy daycare, and that there's really no green space for the dogs to walk in, as is in the packet. So there was a concern as well that the resident recalled that the Rolling Meadows Post Office was one of the reasons that they closed was because there were odors from the nail salon next door. And so there was concern as to whether there was common ventilation or any kind of worry for the other businesses that might be affected by any odors that this business may generate. So, but given Alderman O'Brien's question and the answer from staff that there is a process in place, that if there are any violations or potential violations, that they would be investigated and taken care of. So just wanted to let my resident know that their concerns were addressed.
Thank you, Alderman Budmats. Alderman Bessetti.
Yes, I just had, one question that I had, and I don't know if someone from city staff knows. Is there some sort of a capacity for the number of dogs that can be in this place?
By code, no. Not in the city code or not in the zoning code. Capacities are typically people addressed in the city code. So I believe the applicant indicated there would be up to 40 pets within this particular location. And, we would regulate that based on that number.
Okay, that's kind of my only concern on this is let's say it is very popular, that there hopefully would be some sort of a capacity that the owners would adhere to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Bessetti. Alderman Veneziano.
Thank you. So being in my ward, I did have a couple of the occupants in that strip mall reach out, and they did express some concern with some of the parking, and I did refer them to our packet that did address some of those concerns, along with some of those same concerns that Alderman Budmats had with like ventilation and smells and whatnot. And I do appreciate staff did put a very good packet together with the plans. And so I did assure those occupants that to our knowledge, that those will be the plans that we follow through on, that their occupancy, license will not be granted until those items are granted. And so I'm hoping that that is the case, since that's how it was presented to us. And once that was presented to those few occupants that I talked to, they were satisfied with that, as long as those parameters in the packet meets those needs, being that most of us don't really know much about smell, irrigation, ventilation. It's not really anybody's expertise in that shopping center, nor mine, that we're hoping that those are in fact going to be ventilated enough and to sustain it all enough. So thank you.
All right, well, seeing no other discussion on this item, will the clerk please call the roll?
Sunoika?
Yes.
McHale?
Yes.
Budmats?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Veneziano?
Yes.
Bessesi?
Yes.
Reyes?
Yes.
With 7 in favor and none opposed, the ordinance will be moved forward for second reading. And then we're on to new business. We'll need a motion to approve the payment of bills on warrant for August 23rd, 2022. Is there a motion to approve the warrant?
So moved.
Thank you, Alderman O'Brien for the first, and Alderman Veneziano for the second. Is there a motion to approve? I'm sorry. We have both of those motions. Will the clerk please call the roll?
McHale?
Yes.
Budmats?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Veneziano?
Yes.
Bessesi?
Yes.
Reyes?
Yes.
Sunoika?
Yes. With 7 in favor and none opposed, the motion or the approval of payment was successful. We're now on to our consent resolutions. So we have 3 items for our consent resolutions, items F through H. Does any alderman wish to remove any items from the consent agenda for our resolutions? Okay. Seeing none, the chair declares it in order for one motion to consider the 3 resolutions in one motion without debate. Is there such a motion?
Moved.
Thank you, Alderman Veneziano for the first and Alderman Budmats for the second. The items listed are item F, resolution number 22-R-70, authorize the annual leak detection survey of the city's water system. Item G, resolution number 22-R-71, authorize the waiver of building permit fees for the Islamic Society of the Northwest Suburbs, ISNS. And item H, resolution number 22-R-72, accept a temporary construction and permit easement from Rolling Meadows Station LLC, the Jewel Shopping Center in Kirchhoff Road. The question is, shall the resolutions be adopted? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Budmats?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Veneziano?
Yes.
Bessesi?
Yes.
Reyes?
Yes.
Sunoika?
Yes.
McHale?
Yes.
With 7 in favor and none opposed, the resolutions are unanimously adopted. At this time, the council is going to listen to other businesses and reports. Because there are no mayoral appointments, there are no proclamations unless the city clerk has a report,
No, I don't have anything tonight.
and no report from the city clerk. For our community items of interest, City Manager Rob Sabo.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Save a life and consider giving blood this Thursday, August 25th, from 1 to 7 p.m. at City Hall, 3600 Kirchhoff Road. Appointments are recommended, and donors can register at www.vitalant.org or call 877-258-4825. Don't miss the last concert of the season at Kimball Hill Park on Friday, September 9th. Featuring Anthem at 7:30 p.m. and Shadow's Edge opening at 5:30 p.m. Bring a lawn chair and enjoy a variety of food vendors and adult beverages. Special thanks to ComEd for their generous sponsorship of this event. Have you bought your Quack Pack yet? Tickets are on sale for the annual Rolling Meadows Duck Race happening at Friday's Rock on Friday, September 9th at 7 p.m. Cheer your ducks for a chance to win over 20 great prizes as they swim down the waterfall at Kimball Hill Park. Ducks are $5 each or $20 for 5, and tickets can be purchased at City Hall, the Park District, the Historical Museum, or on event day. The duck race is hosted by the Rolling Meadows Park District Environmental Committee and the city's Environmental Committee and the Historical Society, and proceeds will support conservation projects in the city. All Rolling Meadows seniors 50 years and older and members of the Rolling Meadows Senior Center are invited to the city's popular Senior Luncheon event on Tuesday, September 13th from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Guests will be treated to a delicious Italian buffet, live music, free raffle opportunities, and a great day out with friends, all for $5. Hurry and reserve your spot by September 6th by visiting the RM Park District or online at rmparks.org. Lastly, for the latest updates on the city's construction projects, visit the city's website at www.cityrm.org or check out the city's Facebook page at City of Rolling Meadows. And one feature and quick update on the city website, if you do visit the city website and are looking for construction updates, we did add a one-click menu item on the left side of that page, so it's easy to find for any resident who's looking for any information. There's a GIS map that helps point out where those construction projects are ongoing, and our team in Public Works has been updating that information regularly as those projects have been occurring. That is all for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager Sabo. For the July financial and treasurer's reports, the reports are in the packet, and if council has any questions, to please contact Finance Director Molly Talkington, and she'll be happy to address any of those concerns with you. And then for our last our last staff report is the September 13th, 2022 City Council draft agenda. Go ahead, City Manager Sabo.
Thank you. As stated, the draft agenda for the September 13th City Council meeting is included in the agenda packet. Included on the agenda are the second readings of the ordinances that were passed on first reading this evening. Additionally, we also have a sign of the end of summer, the establishment of the date and time of Halloween for this year. And that will be a resolution, as well as a few additional items, notably Public Works final phase parking lot paving, an application for an ITEP grant application, as well as acceptance of the public improvements for the Meadows Square project. This agenda will be posted in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, and once again is a draft for review at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager Sabo. At this point, are there any matters that are not on the agenda that the council would like to discuss? Okay, seeing none, I would like to entertain a motion to go into closed session under Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act regarding personnel and under Section 2C2 of the Open Meetings Act regarding union negotiations. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mayor Pro
Thank you,
Tem.
Alderman McHale, for the first.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Veneziano, for the second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
O'Brien.
Yes.
Veneziano.
Yes.
Bessesi.
Yes.
Reyes.
Yes.
Sunoika.
Yes.
McHale.
Yes.
Bud Matts.
Yes.
With 7 in favor, none opposed, we will now enter into closed session. The audience and press are advised that we do not anticipate taking any action upon return to open session. Thank you.